Hey, I know who it is, man. It's your boy CyHi The Prynce, your A-Town partner, and you are now listening to Day One Radio. They've been Day One for me for a long time.
The business.
Welcome back to another episode, another installment of Day One Radio right here on ablradio.com. That's Art Beats and Lyrics Radio to be exact. Make sure you download the very free, very accessible smartphone app for your iPhone and Android devices. And B, tell them where they can find the entire Day One Radio catalog.
Man, you can always find us at day1radio.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud. Make sure you rate us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend. You never know, man. You give us a 5-star rating, we might shout you out on the show.
You know what, man? It's like I still get random people, coming up on me about like older episodes.
Same here.
I think somebody said they listened to the Devin the Dude one, and they were like, "Man, I went on here and subscribed." And I said, "Shit, talk to Banner, Mike, JD, everybody." So like they just fell down the rabbit hole. So shout out to y'all, man.
Hey man, I look at the numbers sometimes. It shows it's still we did 2 years ago. Still be getting hundreds of listens every week. That shit is crazy. Well, yeah, man. It's good. This is one of the. I think when we first started doing this, is one of the cats that we said we wanted to have in here because he really don't do a whole lot of interviews.
True.
So we're very appreciative to have one of the dopest spitters, man, and one of those guys that he from Atlanta. I'm sure you get that all the time.
Right, exactly.
CyHi in the building.
Hey,
What's happening?
What's happening?
New Africa.
Man, you already know we putting it out there.
For sure, man. How you do? You on this tour? Almost done with the tour. How's it been?
Oh man, it's been great, man. The reception has been great. We've been all the way around the world in such a short time. I didn't think you could go that far in such a short time. But
man.
Yeah, so we went there. We've been running around the world. Wayne's been a great host.
For the record, y'all, he's on tour with Lil Wayne right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely on tour with Lil Wayne. Let me just say that. I'm on tour with Lil Wayne right now, and we have a show at the Roxy here Monday, so it should be good.
For sure, most definitely. Yeah, I was going to say, I was looking at your IG, and y'all are moving, man.
Yeah. And people don't know, I was doing press runs and radio in between the dates, so it made it even more, crazy for me. But, it's just something that I just feel like I need to, start the campaign back up. So once I drop these records, these bombs, everybody know where it's coming from.
Hell yeah, man. So it's like, man, what has the experience been like, man? Because like you said, you've been moving around. Like, is this a situation where, like, you strictly living and eating on the tour bus? Do y'all get to do anything else? I mean, what has this been like, man?
Well, this run, we didn't really get to do anything because, we wanted to kind of just make it more about the promo of it, really make it about, what the album's going to be about, the upcoming music that we're having. So we definitely did the shows, and we did a lot of new music at the shows. And also, we just, went and met a lot of new people, as far as people I haven't met, as far as at radio or different buildings or different press places from different, Facebooks to et cetera. So, it was just a long grind, but it paid off because once I dropped these next 3 records, y'all gonna see it's gonna be like, man, my boy CyHi done went crazy on these folks.
Well, let's start. I mean, with the one that got the buzz started again for it, because you drop songs here and there strategically every now and again to get people talking. But man, this New Africa, man, what was the mindset behind really pushing that out? I mean, just recording it, period.
Man, I be having a lot of concepts on my mind because I'm definitely a professional thinker. Okay. You know what I mean? That's what I get paid to do. So I always be thinking about different concepts, different social issues, different, things I see that's going on in the neighborhood. I like to, stay in touch with the people and see what the people are doing, but also give them insight on the way they're thinking or where the world is moving or music or anything of that nature. So I think New Africa was just something that God kept putting on my spirit because I tell people all the time, the first time I thought of it was when Birthday Bash was here and Kanye performed. I think it was about a year ago, 2 years ago. And I took him to Compound, and you know Drake was there, 2 Chainz, you know all that. But he couldn't believe when he got in there. He couldn't believe how much money just the average dude in Atlanta had at that club.
Right.
Like he's looking at like these guys going bottle for bottle with Future and Drake, and he's like, man, who is this? I'm like, oh, that's my boy. That's Ike over there. That's, you know what I mean? That whoop the whoop. That's Big Bank Black. Like he like, what is going on? Because he can't believe that many people had money. So he was like, man, he said, man, this is the modern day Africa. Like this how modern day Africa. So I always kept that in my head. And then I was in the club again. That's why it has like a club feel to it.
Right.
Because I was in the club thinking of these. So you know all the Africans run our clubs out here.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to all the Africans. Man, one time this African promoter came in. I was shout out to Bachi. I was at Mansion, and this one promoter, man, he came in with like 15 girls.
Wow.
And they was all the way from I mean red, I mean light, almost white, all the way to like the darkest. But he had every shade in between, and they all was from Africa. I was just like, oh, okay. So I was slick on the little Keisha, and you know what I'm saying, in a Corona or something. And I went home and just wrote the record. I heard a beat prior to that day, and then when I seen them girls, I was just like, okay. People think Africa just ran down, or you know, a bunch of flies flying around, malnutritious people, and nah, it's actually a beautiful place. I have never been, so that was just me. Really just using my imagination and using what I learned about the country and just kind of like putting this utopia together of this place that I was like, if a 7-year-old was riding in the car with his mom, he would be like, Mom, I want to go to Africa. It sounds like it's lit over there. Right. So that was my whole concept of the record.
And it's dope that you brought up how you came up with it. You said you thought of the idea in the club because like technically like it could be considered a conscious song, but one of the things people always say about conscious songs, like that old Chris Rock joke, he said, I love conscious music, but I hate conscious beats. Right, that shit does not be jamming. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but in this instance, you know, this shit is actually jamming.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? My thing is like, I always tell people all the time, like, I don't want to preach to the saints. That's just not.
It's kind of pointless.
Yeah, it's pointless to me. Like, I don't want to talk to a bunch of people who going to heaven. You know what I'm saying? I want to get out here with the sinners, the dope boys, the strippers. That's where I'm always at. Because it'd be so crazy when I be around them and they get to asking me questions and I get to put them up on game. They be like, damn, bro, I ain't even think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when the dude be like, man, my girl tripping, I kind of run it down to him like, oh, you know, because you whoop-de-whoop and whoop-de-whoop last time you did this. Oh, man, you tripping. Like, bro, like, that ain't even think about it like that, Cy. You know what I mean? So it's so funny, like, these dudes is leaving here and they surviving in the streets for real. So for me to be able to speak to them in such a, you know, coded way and still let them see like some positivity and things, it's just dope. That's why I named my album No Dope on Sundays, because it's like when I'm just around a bunch of trap niggas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely an eclectic guy, but all my friends are like street dudes. So to have them listen to me and them ask me for advice, I'm like, okay, our community really need me, because there's a lot of dudes who influence a lot of people in the community. All they need is somebody just to give it to them in a different way so they can process it. So that's what New Africa was just a way I could get trap dudes to be like, you know what? I got $500,000. Like, just think about this. I don't mean to go off on
no.
Go ahead. But I tell people all the time, you ever think about Dubai 15 years ago? Mm-hmm. Just 15 years ago. That shit was all sand.
Yeah.
Fast forward 15 years later, they got the tallest building. They got water parks, hotels, Marriott, best restaurant, racetracks, fireworks, like strip club, like all our strippers is just going out there. It's like, man, this was 15 years ago. This was sand.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, imagine if we just said, okay, what we spent on Memorial Day weekend, I had Nigeria lit. Like, I had Sudan to be Atlanta. Just what we spend on Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. You take all the money that black people spend on them weekends, we could rebuild a whole country just that weekend. So people don't. You just got to think about that. Like,
Right.
So I try to encourage my guys, like, just to, start thinking, because if it ain't us, it's all definitely our sons and our grandkids or whatever can
Plant the
start,
seed.
already thinking like that since yay-high. So that's what I do. Amen.
So I thought it was interesting, man, that your album, I was reading that it's basically a snapshot of a week in your life as a teenager. Now, most artists, especially, you put out mixtapes, you put out different products, but this is like your first official debut album.
Right.
So instead of talking about all the bullshit you've been through for the last, however many years of the Def Jam situation, everything,
Right.
what made you decide to have a conceptual album and do it from a snapshot of that perspective?
I mean, because my youth, like, my life between 12 and 21 was way more popping than my life in the music industry. I'm just keeping it right. Like, I was famous before rap. Like, I tell people all the time, if I use my real name in rap, I'd probably be like, out of here. Like, it's still people that don't know CyHi is Sadell.
Gotcha.
Niggas that went to school with me, nigga, we done fought in the club. Like, you know what I mean? It's a bunch of stuff. And he was like, man, that's bro that used to pull up on us with the bags. Oh, that's my buying 20 of them, the whole hood buying that. But it's some dudes that still don't know CyHi as me. So a lot of my life that I did before that, like, even with mixtapes, I try to use, like, my creativity. You know what I'm saying? These are things that's just, like, a part of me. But
Right.
this album is, like, me. Like, this is my life. So mixtapes is different. Like, on my mixtapes, I kind of, like, give them different elements of me that I feel like make me special. And some with, like, Black History Projects, those were, like, more of my cultural background or what my mom put me up on. Then you got, like, not Jack of all trades, but you got, like, Royal Flush.
Right.
Was more so, like, my emotions or my thoughts on certain things. This is just like the story of CyHi. You know what I mean? This kind of show like, oh, this is what he was doing. This is what he get that from. This is why he got this much insight on certain things. So I think that in a nutshell kind of sums it up. And, the week that it's talking about was from Sunday morning to like Sunday morning. Cause it was like, my partner got shot at a party. And then that was on the weekend, and it kind of like went throughout the week and different things that transpired after that, like us getting revenge to, police kicking in our door, like different things like that. Like my partner girl was pregnant that same week. So it's like, this is a real story that I was like, you know what, I could just add this. And then that Sunday I took my partner, like everybody wanted to take my partner to the club because he got out of the hospital in 2 days. He thought he was He-Man. Took a couple bullets and he stapled up, but he want to show off, took his shirt off in the club.
All right.
I took the nigga straight to church. Everybody took him to the club. I'm like, man, I'm taking you to church tomorrow, bro. And then, now that we're a little older, he just always told me, like, that was one of the realest things anybody ever did for me, bro. He was like, man, I knew you were really my friend. Like, if everybody was just, and you know what I mean? I'm just solid, bro. I was just like, man, I almost lost a friend, And at the same time, it was something that he felt like, man, I needed that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes he was real wild. Like, he'll motherfucker jump off the, ready to fight, ready to shoot it out every time. That kind of had him put things in perspective. So, I mean, I think that's what my job is, and that's why you get no dope on Sundays.
So what does the title mean exactly? I mean, I have, of course I know, you know what I'm saying, but for people that are going to see this and be like, no dope on Sunday, like, what does that
I mean, just giving our people, on the low, it's just, I'm trying to change some shit. You know what I mean? I'm on, I kind of got to keep my mission quiet because they don't like what I'm one of them ones that they like, okay, we're going to get bro up out of here. Like, that's why I tell you all the time, the devil working and also the powers that be, because once I get on, you have to, like, reshape and reformat. As you see Kendrick and Coles, they kind of like making labels go back to be like, damn, do we really need the artist develop again?
Right.
Do we really need to go hire some black A&Rs that really know what's going on versus just having the dope boys, whoever got the most money, come up here with a record, and it's like we sign him, we really break even on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to give him 2-3 million. Then his album come out, he don't really, or do we develop a guy like Kendrick or Cole or Joey Badass or Logic or et cetera, and build those artists to the point where they have fan bases. So I think just No Dope on Sundays is one more of those albums that definitely gonna solidify Atlanta, but also solidify us as a real music entity and not just, hustling. They always look at us dope boys or hustling, but this is like LaFace, TLC, Dungeon Family.
So what was the moment, or was it a series of moments in your life, or did you always know that you were here for a particular reason that had more to do with than just you and your circle?
Oh, probably when I was about to be all the way honest, it started probably when I was 7, 8 years old. It was when I was playing Little League football at Midway Park.
Midway Park, Shawty.
Midway Park.
We have a whole bunch of listeners that ain't never been to Atlanta, so tell them what Midway Park is.
That's straight Decatur right here. That's
Midway, yeah, exactly. Midway Park was a football recreational center in Decatur, but what happened was it was a metro park, and a lot of people don't know it's like a Division II.
Okay.
But my dad, he was tired of arguing with all the coaches at Redan Park, the bigger park. Yeah. So he took me to this small park and made me make these dudes who really didn't care nothing about football like I did. So one day we went I think we lost one game that year, and Redan Park won the Bobby Dye Bowl, and that's the big game in the Division I.
Right.
So my daddy somehow set up a game against us and them. But we the best Metro team, but they the best Division I team. And then when I took them folks out there and we kicked their ass, that's when I knew I was special. Just to be able to galvanize 8 and 9-year-olds that was really nervous. You could tell. And let me tell you how God worked, because I got to tell y'all my story. We on podcast. It was so crazy because we all scared. But right when they first kicked it off, a thunderstorm just hit the park. And everybody was in mud after that. So they couldn't really run their plays and really show it was just all grit. And then we just pulled it off on some miracle shit that sound like a movie. But moral of the story is that's when I really knew I was special, because all them dudes was in my class and my team, at school. Right. So I knew they was super athletic, but I had a bunch of kids who were just learning how to play. But when I did that, I was just okay, I'm kind of special. And then throughout the talent shows and throughout playing high school and being in battle raps and just different situations, I realized, okay, I'm here for a purpose.
For sure, most definitely. Now, you say the album is 50% trap, 30% hip hop, and 20% spiritual.
Right.
How do you balance all that? Because I feel like you putting a lot of stuff into one album, and probably the hardest part is making a cohesive piece of work with all of these things going through your mind.
Well, it was kind of easy because,
really?
Yeah, it was just my life. I tell people all the time, people look at me as it's different for me than I'm not, no disrespect to no other artists or nothing, but I was really in a trap. I was really getting to it. So it's I'm just not a smart kid that graduated school that said, fuck it, I want to be a rapper. No, these is coming from a real place. So I grew up in the church with my mom, my mother and father always tried to instill positivity in me, but then I started feeling myself, I guess, throughout my teenage years, and that's when I started getting into the streets. And then, it was easy to kind of blend all of them, because at the end of the day, it was just when you think about the album and how it's set up, it was all the shit I was going through that week that kind of took us to the church. You know what I mean? So It was just, it wasn't hard to do when you're writing truthful stories. It was just, really my life.
100%. So wait, I've heard you never say it straight out. When is the damn album coming out?
Man, you know what's crazy? Man, the thing is, it's easier for most artists that we may hear far as from Atlanta, because they use how can I say it? Their beats are not as intricate as mine is. I have 2-3 samples on one song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I might have this artist singing this, then I might have Ty Dolla come in and sing this, then I might have. So it's 15 people that you got to get clearances from. Right. It's different than a mix that you could just, because think people like Metro and you think about 808s or the sound of Atlanta, they don't really use that many samples.
Right.
So it's easy to just clear it with Metro, boom, clear it one of the producers, we done. You know what I mean? Versus me, it's like you got to do 3 different stuff. So I have to like, you know, because this is gonna be big, and then my label can't afford to be sued. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We just so you know me was having mixtapes. I could just put it out when I want to.
Right.
But now it's like this for the money, so we definitely got to make sure all our T's are crossed and all our I's are dotted.
Understood. Now you're like the guy who comes in and takes people's thoughts and puts it into the proper. Like you're a coach.
Yeah.
You coach
definitely.
them up. So how is it for you that with Ye EPing the project that kind of the roles are somewhat reversed?
Right. No, you know it's crazy. They're also the same.
For the record, people that might be new to the situation we're bringing up,
Oh,
CyHi
sorry.
has been the coach for many a good musics. You know what I'm saying? Final
Releases,
moments.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
From
right.
Kanye West and others, and now he's embarking on his own solo tape where he's getting to use that same kind of energy for his own music.
Right,
That's
right.
really it.
Kanye West is
Yeah. So I did a
producing
lot of writing with Kanye for the past about 5-6 years. I think since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and you know, it's the same process. It's just that's what made this even more special because now I know how to do it. Like everybody be like, man, we need Ye beats, we need a Ye sound. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? You got to come to me. So that's why people don't know, like even with Cruel Winter, that once me and Trav sit down, that's when Cruel Winter's going to get done. It's really, that's it. You know what I mean? It's just getting Trav and me on the same page. But moral of the story, it's almost like the same thing. Just, you know, me communicating with a lot of the producers and engineers, being able to have that dialogue now. Before I just had to get 2 tracks off emails. Now I can like make a beat from scratch.
Gotcha.
So that's the beauty of it. But yeah, it's the same process, us brainstorming on ideas and seeing ways we can elevate ideas and take them to different places and transitions and tempos and all that different stuff. So it's a lot of brainstorming, a lot of thinking going on. It's more 80% thinking than it is making music.
Like, who are some of the people that you work with? Because the first time I even heard of this album being an idea was actually when I was talking to Honorable C Note not too long ago.
I was just about to say that.
And like he was like, "Bruh, we gonna make sure CyHi win with this shit, bro.
Yeah.
It about goddamn time. Like
Yeah.
we putting everything behind it." So like, besides C Note, who are some of the folks that you work
Well,
with on
you
here?
know, I put Charlie Heat. He's a guy from Philly that he did a lot of work with Ye. Mike Dean's on the album. Exclusive, he the dude who did All the Way Up. He's on the album. C Note is on the album. Mark Berg, he's one of the guys from the group Freshman, but I've been working with him close. He basically did the whole album. You know what I mean? Kanye West on the album. As far as production, Fresh, I got another guy from Atlanta named Fresh. So it's a lot of guys in-house, and we just kind of get in there together and just brainstorm and collaborate. You know what I mean? That's why it's like I said, it's a little longer than you expect. You know, a lot of people don't know how long it really takes to put together like something that, you know, I'm trying to do that 3 Grammy thing that Chance and, you know what I mean, Kendrick did. Like, I only want to win EGOTs, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tonys.
Gotcha.
That's it. So that's when you're doing that, it takes a little time, but it's 2 months. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? I don't want to give a certain day because once I do it, I might just a week later just go on and give it to you. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? It's going to definitely be something, you know, instantaneous, but also give you that quality that, you know, in the summer off, but keep you well fed during the winter.
Now, you mentioned these next 3 songs you're about to drop. Can you allude a little bit to
Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm just about to, you know,
it's
really.
just us talking.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just think my next 3 records is kind of really going to set the template for the album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? New Africa was something off the album that just fit the time. As far as, you know, a lot of people know me for the Black History Project and putting something out in February. So I just want to give the fans something to let them know you are going to be getting something, but here's something to digest while, you know what I'm saying, we get that together. But these next 3 songs are just what I really wanted to put out, what I'm really going with, the budgets behind it, marketing, everything, the whole labels behind it. So good luck for all rappers who ain't up to par. You know, it's time to, move over and let the real music come through. And I tell people all the time, it's just gonna make music better because I feel like being from Atlanta, the mecca of music, if we up our ante a little, it just makes music better anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it was a great time when we had Tip and Jeezy and 3 Stacks in that era because, it was more from a pure place. Now that we know that we can get rich off of it, I think it takes away some of the artistic.
It's a lick.
Yeah, it's a lick. Like, you don't want to make it a lick. You know what I mean? So now it's just like the standards of music, like G.O.O.D that's coming out, J.I.D from my side of town, Black from my side of town. These kids is like really understanding that we have to take it back to, what made us who we are, the LaFace records, we was listening to TLC, like, man, do y'all know we made TLC?
Yeah.
I didn't even forget we had Escape, like you know what I'm saying? Like real dope music, like
so much to choose from that you would actually like forget. It's like, oh man, we had one touch, nigga. We also had Jagged Edge. You know what I'm saying? It's like
exactly. So you think about it like, man, we have to just let people know the excellence of it. Like, don't just get rich off our culture. I just think that's what they trying to do, like get rich off our culture versus really caring about our culture, understanding it. That's the only way it's gonna have longevity. So that's what it is.
100%, man. What do you prefer better, man? Do you prefer making your own stuff, or do you prefer being behind the scenes, kind of helping people put their stuff together?
I don't want to say that. I can't say that, but I really prefer my own stuff because a lot of rappers dance around the truth, like on either end of the spectrum. So I'm just a very truthful person. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand, like, I really believe that, once I become in the marketplace, a lot of things in rap going to change. Because now I have the cachet to really make the moves. Because one thing about me, the powers that be, they all my friends. You know what I mean? It's just like, they all my friends. So once I get ingratiate myself in it, it's a lot of things I could do for the community, as far as philanthropy work, as far as just for music, period, for kids, schooling. You know what I'm saying? I'm the closest one to Ye in a nutshell when it comes to creative-wise. You know what I mean? To the point where, like, he be talking, me and him have conversation on school uniforms. Like, that was my idea, like, our conversation, like, that it first initiated that, like, I don't be liking videos and niggas be like, what are those? Right. Ain't gonna be no more what are those when I get on. Oh, these are Yeezys, 350s. The whole school got them on. Oh, this is season 2 of the motherfucking uniforms that Yeezy made. Like, Adidas, like, now we can get to more so of what are the assignments in school. We ain't nobody,
focusing on the
bullshit. Like, it's a lot of things I want to do, like, in the education system that I've already been speaking with people as far as throughout the government, as far as activists, that's why it's no dope on Sundays, moral of the story. So all hands on deck. I got new management behind this. Like, I'm working with Fly from TIG.
Okay.
He's co-managing me with Al Branch and G Robeson from Maverick. And I also did my deal through Sony. So I just think that my team is also together now, and now we're about to move, and now we're about to really make this movement something that's gonna save lives, but also you can keep it player. That's how I be trying to tell you. To be like, you preaching, like, this ain't no dope on Sunday, ain't no preaching shit. This is just, we trapping every day other than Sunday. Don't get it confused, but I'm just gonna make sure you do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure you move the right way. And if this ain't for you, I got other options that you can do. You can be a podcaster, video guy, fashion, go to school. I want to open all those opportunities for our neighborhoods and not just one avenue. So that's what No Dope on Sunday is about.
Were you, after going through everything you went through and fighting to get off of Def Jam, were you apprehensive about doing another deal with a major?
Nah. I have to have a major. Because of me, it's like, I can't go to the studio and freestyle and have the other few hours of the day to get money.
Right.
Like, this shit take me sitting down. I gotta read. I gotta watch documentaries. I gotta brainstorm. I gotta write. I gotta ball some shit up, rewrite some shit. Like, this take time. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Like I tell people all the time, like, yeah, you see us with Young Thugs and you see us with our Migos, but that's just 1 out of the 10 that made it.
Yeah.
The other 9, 5 of them in prison, the other 4 dead, or vice versa. So you just see this one trap artist, but think about how many dudes that's trying to be rappers that got to go do time just to hustle their own money up. You know what I mean? So certain artists need labels. You know what I mean? Like Kendrick can't do it independent.
It's funny you said that.
He ain't got time. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, me and Terrence have had a few conversations just about the whole process behind what they do. And it's just like, you know, sometimes we go to the studio and if the vibe ain't there, nothing's getting done that day. We listen to the music, we have an idea, and you really can't do that when there's a clock over your head and that accountant is ticking like, hey, we only got 5,000 left. What y'all gonna do?
Yeah, that's it. But I think like artists like even like Chance, I think Chance will be bigger with the label. Like just think how big he is now. I think he would be bigger. He just got to go to the label that want to do what he likes to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times that's the difference is like a lot of times you get a deal from a company that may want you, but a lot of people don't have the luxury to having all the companies want you, and you can just choose which one that does. You know what I mean? But it's different ways, you know, it's different ways to skin a cat. So that's the biggest thing.
For you, man, what is your end game? Like, what do you really want from this?
I want to build schools. Like that's what I want to take my rap money and do. Build some schools. The best schools in the world. I mean, these shits is going to be like Six Flags when I'm done. The kids going to be lining up to go to school. Can't wait. You skipping school, nigga? Oh, you tripping. You tripping. You can stay over there with Dave. Nigga, we going to school today, nigga. Folks just turning there. Like, I want school to be like that. Like, I cannot miss school, ma. Under any circumstance. Sick, no circumstance. That's how I want school to be. So that's my end goal.
And it seems like this where a lot of cats are moving towards, because like you see what like Big Sean is doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit, LeBron about to build a school next year where he's focusing. I think he's only focusing like on 3rd and 4th and 5th grade though. You know what I'm saying? But
because those are the years that count.
So you catch them. Yeah.
They said by the 3rd grade they could tell. They could tell your reading scores and tell how many prisons they got to build.
Yeah, that's
just off the pipeline. Oh, okay, they still low. Okay, build 3 more. Like we know in 15 years y'all gonna be coming to us. Come on,
that's what it is. It's an investment at the end of the day.
Exactly. So that's why I'm a you know, that's just my ultimate goal. I don't know what else to do. I already had all the baddest chicks. I already drove all the flyest cars. I've known Diddy since I was 14. You know, so I've been getting record deals since I was 15, meeting babies and Jeezys and Dr. Dre's and Kanye and Ye. And what else? I ain't got nothing else to do but to help somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to do.
Who do you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
I mean, face to face, I want to work with Kendrick. Like we did something that was already like we kind of pieced it together, but one like. But Kendrick, I love to work on.
It was that Thirsty, the shit.
Yeah, Thirsty. Terrence. Like Terrence put that together. Yeah. We didn't get to like put it all the way together ourselves. Chance, I would love to work with him. I like a West Coast rapper named Mozzie. That's from the West Coast. You know Mozzie?
I'm from East Oakland.
Oh, Mozzie, my favorite.
Is dope as fuck.
He's my favorite.
Dude, people don't understand. I was trying, me and 40 was talking last year, and I was like, bro,
Mozzie,
you need to sign
Mozzie, bro.
Mozzie is dope as fuck, and he's so authentic. It's ridiculous. Like if y'all don't know, he has 1 million projects. Just go on your Spotify, Apple, whatever. Yeah, I got hip when he dropped the video for Blah Da, and I was like, I like this dude. And that's the thing. Like, we really ain't had a rapper that was dope from Sacramento since SIBO back in the day. So, and it's funny because the blood thing. But it's different because he's from Sac, and the fact that he talks about his grandmother and how she raised him, and just he's like really like a young dude that you could tell I really don't want to live this life, but this is what the fuck I've been doing.
With it. Like fuck
and I'm with the shit if it come to that. But I'm trying to rap, nigga.
But that's the thing. That's no dope on Sundays, man. It's like you could tell once he do transition, it ain't gonna be as hard for him to pick it up because he is somewhat educated.
Yeah.
He do have some certain type of integrity. You know what I mean? But you can also hear that in his music. Like, even if he with the shit, it's always a reason he with the shit. Yeah, it's a
Scarface.
lesson. Yeah, like
it's
exactly.
face, it's Ice Cube.
But that's how rap's supposed to be. It's like
100%.
It's like, yeah, but you know, like I say, I don't discredit no Atlanta artist because I feel like I don't want to listen to all CyHi and Onyx.
Yeah.
Like, this is a spot. I want to hear goddamn Migos. I want to hear Future. Like, you know what I mean? This is the Cajun, but we can't just act like that's the only thing we have.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, it has to be balanced. Ain't no way these folks, J. Cole doing 500 first week, Kendrick doing 601, and you hear they song 2 times a day. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Because when I grew up, we used to hear Snoop on the radio, Outkast, Tupac, Biggie, fucking Power Wall. Like, It was some of everybody, but now it's like.
Well, I think one of the things now is like, we was having this discussion yesterday. We were about to do this NPR thing, and we was like, and we needed clean records, and it was like, these niggas don't give a fuck about the radio no more. Like, a lot of artists don't care. Like, it's like, I don't know if they feel like they ain't gonna play it no way, or if they feel like the internet is our radio, the streets is our radio, the strip club is our radio.
Nah, because those are artists who living off the lifestyle of hip hop. That's just. See, you know, those are just their theme songs. You know, when the Brady Bunch come on and have a theme song.
Okay.
And that's the song you know from that artist. You know, they have other songs that played throughout the series, but you probably don't remember that as much as the Brady Bunch.
Gotcha.
So that's their song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just want a theme song that I could just, you know what I mean, I have to perform when I'm 40. I wrote it when I was 20, but I still got to rock this song. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't even think like this no more. You know what I mean? That's just those who are living off the lifestyle of hip-hop. That's why it's more about how they dress, how they pictures look, how they... Well, Kendrick ain't got no pictures on his ground.
No, not at all.
Ain't no pictures. Drake ain't like the freshest nigga in the world.
Nah, not at all.
They music speak. And that's what it's all about. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I know a lot of dudes who sell mid that's rich. But do you smoke mid? I don't smoke mid.
Right. But
you know
somebody do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Somebody do, though. So that's what it's for. It's for those who do that. But this is the top grade of Keisha. This is traditional medicinal made from the best trees of Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, California.
All of that, right?
You know what I'm saying? So moral of the story is all of it sales is just all about what you want to sell. But at the end of the day, I just think we need to just, you know, also have that balance, because if you have that balance in Atlanta, it helps all music. You know what I'm saying? It helps everything. So I think that's what we're coming back to here exactly.
Yeah, and it's good because I feel like Atlanta had, you brought up the LaFaces, the DF, TLC, all of that, and then I feel like it just kind of went away from that from a quality perspective. I mean, of course, Mike has always been doing his thing, and then is bubbling now with Run the Jewels, but I think that because of, like, you brought up Kendrick, you brought up Cole, you brought up Chance, I feel like you can't just act like the city didn't have like years of really quality and popular music. So it can be done.
Yeah.
Not to say that, you know, Migos shit is jamming, but you need that meat and potato. You need that substance.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it. I mean, that's what I say. You can see it, and you need that because, you know, it's like, how can I say? That is displaying black culture, but a lot of times people want you to explain black culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people like to see things, but then you have people who like to read. You have people who like to hear. So it's like, they have a cool sound, and you guys look good, woo, but where do you get that swag from? How can you explain it to a more intellectual mind? You know what I mean? Because everybody be like, my lady be like, man, the kids. I'm like, man, you know how much shit I do that I still do when I was a kid? I don't do nothing I do. Only thing I do is probably play Madden still that I did as a kid that I don't do now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like people, like these kids aren't going to be kids forever. They're going to be adults longer than they're going to be kids. So I make music that's, you know what I mean, not just predicated to kids because these kids are going to grow up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to listen to me forever. I be telling you all the time, man, I seen KRS-One was still on tour. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
What you mean he's selling out the 2,500 cap venue? Who? KRS-One gonna be here tomorrow, bro. We gotta clean this bitch. I'm like, it's baffling me. I'm still like, bro, y'all serious? Yeah. Then Method Man, Redman coming the next week. Then, you know, Wu-Tang. Like, what are y'all?
But it's timeless music.
Exactly. That's what I want to be. I don't want to be having to take checks for different shows. I don't want to be on, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Got to act like y'all want me to act to be on this show to get some money with y'all. Nah, I'm going to go on tour. I'm going to do these 30 dates. I'm going to come home, feed my family, and live the rest of my life how I want to live it. So that's what quality music is. A lot of kids don't know that because, you know, the money look good now. You know what I'm saying?
Look. Is the operative word. Mm-hmm. It looked good. Talk about a little bit about Ivy League, man.
Oh, Ivy State. The Ivy League movement is something that, like I tell people all the time, it's the highest level of the School of Hard Knocks. It's like it's the Dartmouth of street knowledge.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It's you know, the highest level of thinking. You know, the highest level of music, highest level of art, highest level of street organization, highest level of spirituality. Like, this is what I'm cultivating, but this is in the future, actually. But it's just certain things I want to just put in the air. And I just want to make this feel like my own school, my own academy, where when you think about it, when I meet dudes in the streets, they really live by my music. I cannot... That's why I can still put, like, people be like, man, this thing, like, don't go away. Yeah, because it's people who, like, live by my rules and regulations on the album. Like, it's just like, man, when you said this on number 6, like, my cousin in jail called me and told me he was a real one, niggas in prison. It's like, man, okay, I got to do this music. Because it's actually saving lives. It ain't just entertaining. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know you got something the cure for cancer. You know, it might be a little ahead of its time, but you know you got to make sure you keep getting it out so the people know.
Definitely. You always mention Atlanta, whatever you do. Mm-hmm. It's your home, man. What do you think about how the city is changing?
It's crazy, man. You know, I think, I tell people all the time, we got to start taking ownership of our city. We got to kind of, you know, because, like, man, you can't go to L.A. and just ingratiate yourself like that. You can't just go to New York and just ingratiate you. Like, Atlanta just let anybody come to the point where now, you know, it's not even ours anymore. Mm. You know what I mean? Like, people, because, you know, and that's something about us, like, ownership, we have to kind of start learning how to be bosses, because when you have talent, you kind of think that your talent is going to be here forever. But once you get older, you don't own anything. You know what I mean? I.e., I love LeVar Ball. I'm sorry, the love Ball.
I do too.
I love him.
100%.
He the first independent rap. Like, he doing the same thing Chance did. And we applaud Chance. When bruh trying to do it, we look at him like he crazy. I'm like, man, y'all missing the whole blessing.
And you know why it's so dope? Aside from what's obvious, the fact that he's so over the top that he exposes people who don't think at a high level, people that are cool with the status quo, and honestly, people that's closet sellouts.
Yeah.
Like,
but I tell people
it's
all the
women
time,
that got $5,000 purses in their damn closet, but they complain about this man trying to sell $500 shoes.
But made like, I be seeing kids at the bus stop with Ferragamo belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They you at the bus stop.
What part of the game is this?
Hey, bro, you know you got that. You took your belt off and sold it.
You can get a car.
You could get a car. I'm talking about, they got cars like a little Honda or something.
Yeah,
you know
little bucket.
It's $700. You can have it. You know what I mean? Get a little insurance. Man, these folks, boy, this shit baffle me, bro. I don't know.
But yeah, I fucks with LeBron.
Yeah, but moral of the story is, man, we gotta just, organize our culture. You know what I mean? And not let people come in and just own it. You know what I mean? Like people come out here and just like, oh, we'll take that, and buy you out for $2 million. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, but just also understanding what our talent is worth, what our culture is worth, and also, making people really invest and really be in bed with it and not just hustle it and get a quick lick off of it. So I think that's what Atlanta need to do, especially like I was watching this movie, no disrespect, but I was watching this movie and they shot it down here. He was like, man, something from Decatur. And it was just like, you got to say Decatur. You can't say Decatur. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got it, like, because when you watch Boys in the Hood or whatever those movies was, they sound like they was from LA. So it was like, whoa, like, this shit is real. That's what made, but now it's like people using, because we got the tax cuts and they just feel like they can shoot it here, say they in Atlanta, but sound like they from New York. Like, now you got to have, you got to put Atlanta dudes, you got to put Atlanta actors, black actors from Atlanta in the movie.
Right.
You have to develop them. We didn't know y'all was going to come down here, but yeah, we got talent. Give us a year or two. Let us hone our skills on it, and then give us an opportunity at these movies that you guys are bringing down, and not just flying, artists or whatever from LA or New York or wherever you bringing them from. So I think that's what I mean by we got to make sure we use what's accessible to us. Y'all see they shoot movies. Let's shoot our own. You know what I'm saying? Showing how Atlanta really should be represented as far as in the movies. And not just, thought of fabricating and, people just move down here and try to act like they from Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Right. What is your favorite, not even saying the best, what are your favorite 5 Atlanta albums ever?
Favorite 5 Atlanta albums. Okay, my first favorite was Kilo. The one with White Horse on it used to be all them. I can't.
That was to get the party. That was to get the party. No, that wasn't getting the party started.
That was right.
That was get the party started because it was right before the organized bass. So that was get the party started.
Get the party started was my first favorite. One of my favorite songs was Trump Tight. Why you all up on mine? Niggas on the ground trying to get it.
Oh, they get it? No, that's that a damn shame.
Yeah, damn shame. That was one of my favorite. Yeah,
I still listen. When I be out running, going to the gym, I still listen to that shit.
Yeah,
bro.
Y'all so
straight out of Scott there.
Exactly. And then I think what was my favorite? Aquemini was my favorite. TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool was one of the best, I think, Atlanta albums. And man, Tip was just so good growing up. I think it had to be like trap music. That was when I was like, okay, bro, just come. When was the one he just came out? What was that?
Be Easy on Trap.
In the game.
Yeah.
What album was that?
That was on Trap Music.
Oh, yeah, man. I was in one of those videos, too. Rubber Band Man. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, I'm lit. I was going to school lit. I was
like, you don't see me in the video.
Yeah, man, that was me, man. So, yeah, that's what it was.
That's what's up, man. We appreciate you coming through, bro.
Oh, no problem,
please
bro.
tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Oh, yeah, man. CyHi The Prynce, everything. CyHi Prynce. That's, that's everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you know what I'm saying, wherever. CyHi The Prynce. Hey.
For sure. Yo, we appreciate y'all listening as well. Again, make sure you follow us on social media. That is Day One Radio on everything, DAY, the number 1, and radio on all your social media. And make sure you check us out on iTunes, rate us, subscribe, and all that. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll see you next week with another dope show.
Peace.